Hey there, Storm fans. Brian Cook here, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. My first ever donation deck. Thank you to Alfred for listening to the Eternal Glory podcast. Heard me talk about a failed experience with a donation deck, and Alfred quickly jumped the gun and wanted to be the first one to pay me to play their deck list. So today we are playing Ruby Storm, a mono red splashing tendrils Storm deck in Legacy. So the main idea behind Ruby Storm is Ruby Medallion reducing all of your effects. Pretty similar to the very old Legacy decks that used to abuse Helm of Awakening. Ruby Medallion is a way of essentially making that non-symmetrical. So we see copies of Ancient Tomb and excuse me, Sandstone Needle to cast Ruby Medallion on turn 1 or turn 2. And then from there, you play effects like Mana Morphos, Rite of Flame, Seething Song, Jessica's Will to make mana, and bonus round ends up copying a lot of these effects. So this list is a little bit newer and it gets 2 copies of Bergi, God of Storytelling / Harnfeld, Horn of Bounty as a card advantage engine. So keep that in mind. Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher, my 2 podcast co-hosts, have also recorded leagues with this deck list from Alfred as well. Alfred challenged me to have a better record than them. They both went 3-2, I believe. So we're looking to do better. This is not my list. This is Alfred's. My initial thoughts are I am not in love with the 2 bolts and the 2 light up the stage. I'd honestly would rather see a second copy of Past in Flames and then some other effects. Like, I think this package is a little too cute. I get that Bolt is a main deck win condition. It removes Thalia. But you have Fiery Confluence for that. Light Up the Sage, I just don't think is a very powerful effect in general. So I would be looking to play something else, but I don't have a solid suggestion of what that might be either. So who knows? Um, yeah. So I'm not sure about Sandstone Needle, if I'm being completely honest, but I'm not hot or cold. I want to see how good it is before I form a strong opinion on this card. I do like the 8 Mountains, stable mana base. Another thing is, like, I know that the bolts are there to beat Thalia, but bonus round can beat Thalia as well. Um, just throwing that out there. And you have Bergi to help beat Thalia too. So when we look at the board, pretty standard wish board. You have your tendrils, your artifact removal, grape shot, another copy of bonus round, empty, piff. Like, this is all pretty standard. And then you have anarchy. I imagine that this is here to beat Thalia, backed by Mother of Runes. It can, in theory, answer a Leyline to Sanctity, but like nobody plays that card anymore. And if you need to, you could actually bonus round copy Caven a few times to beat Leyline 2, as long as you have a higher life total. So just throwing that out there. Like, Fiery Confluence actually beats Leyline 2. Like, why are we playing this? Like, there are ways to beat Thalia. Um, I'm just not a big fan of the Anarchy slot, to be honest. I think we could play something better there. So those are my initial thoughts. I'm not trying to bash Alfred's list. This is what I'm expecting going into the league, and maybe my opinions will be different in the end. The defense grids are obviously for blue decks, Ratchet Bomb for the artifact decks. I wonder if there's anything better. Like, you could be running Crash. Like, Crash would actually be pretty sweet in the deck with 8 Mountains. Maybe the Ratchet Bombs are for something else that I don't understand quite yet, but will once we start playing. So if you're interested in me playing your deck list, I don't really have anything set up yet, but feel free to message me through theepicstorm.com's contact form in the footer, and we can chat. My rates are variable, depends on what I'm playing, what you're asking me to play, that sort of thing. So I'm only willing to play combo decks for what it's worth. I'm not going to play your mid-range brew or pox or anything like that. This is a combo channel. And as always, if you're not a subscriber, please make sure to do so. Help support this channel. Uh, this video will start off the month of March. I hit 400 subscribers in February. I'd like to do better in March. Help me accomplish that, please. Yeah. So without further ado, let's hop in playing some games and whatnot. I can't talk right now. Please forgive me. But as always, if you want to support this content, please subscribe. Leave a comment below. Yeah. Stay tuned. Round number 1. We are facing Moutch and we are on the play. They are normally a 4-color Loam player. We've opened up a hand without any lands, unfortunately, so we're going to ship this. Is it crazy that I think that Lion's Eye Diamond is the worst card in this hand? Maybe this is supposed to be a mulligan, but I'm going to keep it. A Wasteland will set us back into the Stone Age, though. Like, the reason I'm keeping this is that a single red source, I think, really puts us into this game. Because you could Seething Song, bonus round, Morphos, play Horn, and just go to town. And that's what I'm looking to do. There's Wasteland, so we were about to get racked. Ruby Medallion, not very good right here. If they have Thalia, that's probably a KO. Dark Confidant. Knight, okay. We need to draw a red source. Alright, rather than show our opponent what I'm playing, I'm just going to concede. That hand obviously did not pan out, but we know that they're on 4-color Loam. Do I want to change anything? Like, in theory, you could board in Ratchet Bombs for a Chalice. Brought out these light up the stages that I'm already not a fan of. Yeah, let's try that. I don't know how good this Ratchet Bomb will be, but in theory, it's an answer to some of these 2-mana hate creatures while being cost efficient. Can't be the end of the world. And if you want to support this content, you can always do so by going to theepicstorm.com/shop and getting yourself a mini token pack. 54 tokens is what you'll receive. 54 goblins on the back, 6 of each, and they're mini. They're half the size of a standard Magic the Gathering card. Once again, you can get those at theepicstorm.com/shop. Game 2 on the play. This hand doesn't really do anything. I think this is supposed to be a mulligan. So this does have a Justice Will for the mode of I can cast the top 3 this turn, if that's even good enough. I guess we'll find out. I don't need to sacrifice the diamond. I can just play the Jessica's Well. Double Seething Song. Unfortunate. Looks like we're shipping. All right. Can't quite cast Bergie. Or Horn. Pretty far away from that. Vraska, jeez. Looks like we're passing again. Like, was I supposed to mulligan that 6? Like, I feel like you play this deck to do those sort of things. This would be a light up the stage that wouldn't do anything here. Unfortunately, I think we're dead. It's worth noting I did have the thought, so we're going to concede this and just accept that we lost round number 1. I do like double Past in Flames main deck with 2 copies of Horn, just because the discard to Horn works really favorable with 2 copies of Past in Flames. And yeah, like I feel like the deck just really wants 2 Epiphany in general. It feels a little threat light, but maybe I'm wrong. We have 4 more matches to play. Let's see if we can turn it around. Hey, we're back for round number 2. I have no clue what our opponent's playing, but this seems like a pretty reasonable hand. We're going to try it out. Turn 1, Ruby Medallion. Turn 2, Morphos. Morphos, see what we can do. Oh. So Moon Stompy by the looks of it. Come on, play a turn 1 Blood Moon. That would be so funny. I'll accept Rabble. Better than the other one. Alright, this is where we cross our fingers and hope that we get to untap. What do they need 5 mana for? I don't know what they're doing. They're just choosing to pass, which is fine by me. Here we are with this light up the stage again. So I could, in theory, flashback the back end of this. I think I'm just going to do the front. So this Jessica's will make 3. So this costs 2. Diamond was a very good draw. Okay, so we have a ton of mana here. We have 7 mana. This Ignite only costs 2. I feel like Bergie's probably a card I should cast. Because, like, this Ignite only costs 1, which is really nice. Burning Wish is actually a break even on mana, which is funny. this Jessica's Will is free, and our opponent had enough. We have won a game with Ruby Storm. All right. So once again, we're facing a Chalice deck. I really wish that these Ratchet Bombs were crashes if that's what they're there for, but I might not understand why they're in the deck. Lightning Bolt doesn't seem at its best here to me. Like, yeah, it kills their creatures, but I don't think that's what the matchup is about. So I'm going to board those out. Bring these Ratchet Bombs. And as always, if you want to support this content, please join our social groups. Become a part of the Storm community. It's really awesome. Do it. You can find those links in the description below. Game 2. I'll keep. I don't care about that. Actually, is this? I don't think that matters. I could be wrong. I think that these are not cast from the library, they're cast from exile. So I don't think it affects Grafdigger's Cage. It's worth noting that Crash, while being a really clean answer to Trinisphere, isn't affected by Karn, where Ratchet Bomb is. Chandra. We're actually pretty low on life. So we're taking 1 here, going to 11. I think I'm just going to pass. Hope that I'm able to untap and blow up the Trinisphere. We're at 9. They're about to deal us 4, possibly 6. 7 it looks like. Because they haven't used it. Or no, did they already plus the Chandra? My bad. So we're just taking 6 here and going to 3. Well, the Magus is going to die to this Ratchet Bomb. Time to party. Another Ruby Medallion. I'm going to go to 1. Cast this Medallion. Because it makes all these cost 1, which is kind of cool. So we get the Burning Wish twice here, which means we're going to get the Rite of Flame out of the board. Can't talk. The Rite of Flame out of the sideboard and then another card. Let's do the other bonus round. We're here to have fun, right? So that was a literally free spell because of Bergie and then reducing by 3. Well, that was fun. Woot woot, we won a match. How crazy is that? 1-1. Match number 3. We are on the play. Nope. I think it's probably this bonus round. I think it's bonus round because we don't have enough mana to do anything after. Like, next turn we can't do anything. Like, oh, we have to draw mana next turn to even cast Jeska's Will. So, like, bonus round I think is one of the weaker slots. Mother, we really need a mana here. That'll do, Pig. Okay. I think we're supposed to add mana. So if I exile the top 3, this is going to cost 2 mana. We'll go down to 6. This is 8 to flashback, so this would have to make mana in order for us to flashback Ignite the Future. Alright, so I can Burning Wish for Past in Flames here, and I think that's actually going to do quite a number. Okay. It's kind of cool. We get to flash it back from the graveyard here. And this spell will be able to cast the cards for free, I believe. Because it was cast from the graveyard. That's how Ignite the Future works, right? And now we're just going to party. Could play this as Horn. Adding some mana here. Mana Morphos is free and actually makes a mana and draws a card. Harnfeld casts 4. So we have both Bergie and Harnfeld right now, which is kind of sweet. Alright, let's play this Lotus Petal. And we have enough to win now. I can Burning Wish or Grape Shot. Woot woot. Well, when this deck goes off, it certainly goes off. No one can deny it that. And our opponent is conceded. Take that, Maverick. Once again, the Ratchet Bombs. And let's take out these Light Up the Stages. Pretty stock board playing at the moment. Excuse me. Admittedly, I don't think that you can board in Crash versus Maverick. That said, I think like this Anarchy should probably be something else, because I think that you're going to be able to win through Thalia a lot of the time. Like, I'm just not a big fan of cute sideboard options. And, like, Fiery Confluence already beats Leyline, so I don't think you need this. And I just wonder if some of this is redundant at all. But I might be wrong there. Like, do we actually need Tendrils? Like, that's a card I'd be looking to cut, to be honest. Like, I think that you can just win with Grape Shot a majority of the time. Am I wrong for wanting to keep this? Our opponent kept 7. I guess we have no answer to Deafening Silence, which is a bonus towards Ratchet Bomb. I think I'm supposed to ship it. I'm willing to bet that this sort of hand is like just supposed to empty your opponent. If that was a mountain, we'd be going to town right now. Red Belcher. We can beat Tigor Oof with what we have. Alright, I don't think we actually care about Collector Oof. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. So I can storm 5, bolt them to 16. It's from 7, it's from 8. So technically this is just a Tendrils kill. I was just saying how I think that you could cut tendrils. I mean, I think I could probably empty for lethal or something else here too, but this was just really clean and easy win. Through your collector roof. Get out of here. Just take it and get out. What collector roof? Take that, Maverick. This was actually kind of enjoyable. I've been on a losing streak against Maverick with TDS for a while, and this just felt so good. Screw you, Collector Roof. We're 2-1. All right, 2 rounds to go. Let's see if we can squeak out 2 more wins to do better than Brian and Phil. I have no clue what our opponent's playing, but this hand seems pretty good to me. We do have the turn 1 Sandstone, or I'm sorry, Mountain Petal Jessica's will play. I don't know how good that actually is. Dress. Sandstone Needle's a sweet card. I don't know how good it is, but it's sweet. Back in the day, Mono Red Sneak Attack was a very popular deck, and there were 4 copies of Sandstone Needle in that. I really do wish that the Bolt and the Light Up the Stage were more combo type cards. They just feel a little underwhelming every time I draw them. Like, I know that we just had that sweet game where we won through Collector Roof due to the Bolt, but I think a lot of other cards also would have won through that. Jessica's well down. I don't really know what we're facing. Could be Ant. Could be Doomsday. Another thing about the bolts is that like they're pretty bad against combo decks. Like these are just dead cards in our hand at the moment. We are looking to draw an action spell next turn. Manamorphose would be great. Any of those exile effects, so Jessica's well, ignite the memories or whatever it was called, even light up the stage. Based on how our opponent passed on turn 3, I guess that they're Doomsday. We have nothing going on right here. They also chose not to fetch. Like they brainstorm locked themselves and chose not to fix it. So their hand has to be pretty good. All right, so it's Ant. All right, we're just gonna pass, like, or concede. We don't really have anything going on. Our opponent has a pretty easy kill. We had nothing coming. So I'm going to board in these grids and get rid of the bolts. We don't really... I guess maybe we keep Fiery Confluence. Could hypothetically kill our opponent. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't seem great to me. Let's try that. Why not? So one of the things that I consider a lot of the time is when I'm playing Storm, I want my cards to be versatile. Bolt was pretty embarrassing there against the combo deck. So like these aren't cards I would play in my main deck personally. The way that I build my combo decks is you want all of your cards to be really flexible and they're sort of narrow. So you'll never see a main deck fatal push out of me, for example. Even though I play a basic swamp, it does nothing against a large portion of the format, and I feel like Lightning Bolt's actually pretty similar to that. Even though it enables light up the stage, I don't think that's what you want to be doing. Or a red source off of from this hand being good. We could actually empty on turn one. So we would play Ruby Medallion, Petal, LED, Wish, empty. So 12 goblins on the play. Is that good enough versus Ant? Probably. Hold control. Red Belcher. I'm also like a little surprised there isn't an excuse me, an Echo of Aeons in the board. Like it seems like it's a card that this deck could support. Like I was thinking about that in one of the games of like hypothetical outs we could have, and one of them was Echo of Aeons, but like this list just doesn't have it. Chose to shuffle. That's a good sign. I'm not a fan of Magic Online using this Goblin token for Empty the Warrens. What is this, like an M19 Goblin token? Get that out of here. Like, use the proper empty tokens. I wonder if they've looked like this the entire time ever since that, like, Swamp Glitch. Like, when they fixed the Swamp Glitch, they chose these Goblin tokens instead of the classic empty ones. All right. Come on, opponent. Let's go. All right. They have passed. No need to play out the grid. Us going to 16, it was actually very good for our opponents. We're just going to pass here. And now we find out if we're dead. It's a pretty good start. And now it's from 9. They kept an LED in play. We're dead if they flip a tutor. It's a really good start for them, though. They're at 5. So they could stop and just go pedal brainstorm. Because they're dead to tendrils now. They're going all in on this brainstorm. Oh, it's not all in because they have past in flames. So they can brainstorm sack LED for blue-red. Okay, so this line's actually pretty fine. They have a bunch of lucks here. Like, there's a reasonable chance that we're dead. Tendrils would do it. Infernal Tutor will do it. They can always pass in flames, cast Ponder to shuffle. And they found the tutor off the brainstorm. So that's going to do it. We have fallen to 2 and 2. Sorry, Alfred. Our opponent with Storm 10 has not been able to make the correct decision yet. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on to round number 5. And we're back. Final match with Ruby Storm. Let's try to finish this off with a winning record. This seems fine to me. Don't really know what our opponent's playing. So many deltas. I guess I could goldfish them. Sorry, I can't talk. Blue Red Delver. I burnt my tongue today on hot cocoa, and it's made it very difficult to talk. I don't know if this is Blue Red Delver, though. Like, why would they be fetching islands this aggressively? Fishing Baleful Strix. That's an issue, but the back half of Bergie Horn can get through. Well, that's no longer the case. This Thoughtseize is likely going to hit the Fiery Confluence. Ponder. So if we draw a land or a ritual, we could actually we can't redirect with Fiery Confluence anymore. I don't think this doesn't hit Planeswalkers anymore. So this Narset's kind of a big deal. We could cycle Morphos on our opponent's turn. Sort of hoping they take Fiery Confluence. It doesn't do anything. They correctly identified Morphos. Bummer. This is a weird deck. Well, Fiery Confluence can kill the Bob. I don't think I want to, though. Like, if they accidentally flip like a 5, this Fire... I guess a 5 would likely be forced, but this Confluence could kill them. Or, oh, not likely to happen. So now they can buy back Earl going up to 17. Definitely in a tough spot. Another land. Not going to do it. Forcible is going to make this kind of tough on us. I just don't know how we would even get out of this. Like, knowing that they have force, I don't think we can win. Psychomorphos here. Try to get something. Alright. Next game. Bonus round isn't going to do. So we want these grids. The bolts do kill Narset, so I think we probably leave those in. Let's get rid of these light up the stage. Let's try this out. Hopefully this will work. And once again, if you want to support this Storm content, if you also like Rite of Flames, consider going to theepicstorm.com/shop and get your own copy of Rite of Flame there. All right, we are on the play. I think you're supposed to keep these, but it's a feel bad. Really need this Ruby Medallion to resolve, but we also need another land on the next turn. Definitely want a land. A little awkward. Imagine this gets forced. No. Pyroblast could be a good option to help fight back. And we don't have anything like this in the board either for Burning Wish to go get, which is kind of an issue. Like, you probably want one of these effects in the board. Like, I guess I could go get Light Up the Stage. I boarded... no, I didn't board that out. No, I did. I could go get Light Up the Stage here. Right? Yeah, it's right there. Double force. Okay. This card is just Night's Whisper for us. Like, I would love if there was like an Act on Impulse in the board. Like, that would probably be a reasonable get. And unfortunately, I can't cast either of those, so they're just going to get exiled, which is just a beating. Really wanted that piff. Next turn, so I can cast them next turn, actually. So that's not that bad. A red source would be ideal because then we could cast the Light Up the Stage and Seething Song, assuming that the Piff resolves. Come on, deck, red source. This is a risky line, but I'm taking it. Okay, looks like we sort of got there. Okay, now we're just going bananas. It's going to be easy from here, I think. Pop this out. Start on bonus round. So much red. Let's cast this thing. Just showing our opponent our entire sideboard. Why not? Let's show them the anarchy. Yeah. Now they know we have bad cards on our board. Alright. Let's bolt them. I'll be honest. I thought that we only had 2 copies of bonus round. So I was like, oh, I had to get the grape shot or else I wouldn't have dealt with all of that in between. Okay, final game of Ruby Storm. We're about to get this. Let's finish strong. Let's get this 3-2. Let's feel good about it. I'd like that. Okay. And if you're interested in supporting this content, I highly recommend the Epic Storm Pint Glass. Read what Jim Baxter had to say. All right, we're at it. Game 3. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. Our hand's actually pretty good. grid down. Thoughtseize bug. This needle will go away the next time we tap it, so we have to make sure that we use it wisely. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. Bonus round. What's the harm? Just let it resolve. And they did not. Sandstone needle is gone. I played out the pedal pre bonus round, and that was intentional. I'm aware that it can die to decay now. That said, if I played bonus round and then played pedal and they forced it, I'd feel really foolish. Okay, max punished. We still have some play here. We're not dead yet. Jeez, come on, opponent. I'm not sure what the right take is here. I feel like it might be Lion's Eye Diamond, but I'm not sure. They decided it was Jessica's will. Pretty close to Bergie now. I'm sorry, Horn, not Bergie. What can this do? Nothing, we're still a mana short. Interesting. So they're going to be able to start getting ahead on card advantage, which is really dangerous. Another Rite of Flame would be great. Stuck on mana. Now they can play Uro. I have a feeling that they have a force in hand too. Like, this is one of those spots where having an echo on the board would be incredibly beneficial. So now we're on like the draw exactly Ancient Tomb plan next turn or die. I guess we could draw Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame is close. So we have 5 outs, assuming that our opponent has nothing in hand. So we're going to fall to 7. They're going to go up to 11. All right. Another Jusk as well. So unfortunately, we are dead. We went 2-3 in this league, not the worst. So let's go over the list and then final thoughts. So I was not really that impressed with Light Up the Stage and Bolt, as I kind of expected up front. Like, these cards just aren't versatile, and they're a little clunky. Like, the fact that you need Bolt to make Light Up the Stage good or Double Ruby Medallion is just, like, not ideal. Uh, Honestly, like, if this was just, like, Act on Impulse, I think might honestly just be better. I'd also like to see an Act on Impulse and an Echo on the board. Um, I don't think these need to be crashes. I think that might have been wrong, just because these do beat Deafening Silence, which is pretty huge. I'm guessing that's why there's Anarchy in the board as well. I wasn't thinking about Deafening Silence. That said, Anarchy just seems really bad to me. Like, you're never gonna go Burning Wish for a 4-mana sorcery and resolve it against Death and Taxes or Maverick. Like, that's a pipe dream. Get that. Just get Anarchy out of here, in my opinion. I don't think you need the Tendrils. That's a slot that could probably leave. And I don't know how I feel about the mana base. Um, Sandstone Needle dying kind of hurt. Like, I don't know if those need to be mountains or not. Like, Sandstone Needle might just be correct, or they could just be 3 more mountains. We definitely struggled one game because it died, And if those were mountains there, we're probably a lot closer to winning. Trying to think, like, do you need Fire Confluence and Bolt? Probably not. Like, I know that you need one to beat a Meddling Mage effect. Um, Confluence is clunkier, so I'm sort of like, if I had to play one, I'd probably run a main deck Bolt, or see if you could like find a more versatile card. Ignite the Future was fine. I was a little skeptical of it, but it ended up being decent. Jessica's Will was fine. I do think that's an improvement to the deck. Bergie was honestly a little clunkier than I would have hoped. Um, like, you'd think it'd just be nuts here. We never really got to use the Horn Half either. And I'd like to see a second Piff, most likely, just because it does play well with Bergie. Yeah, I think those are my thoughts in general. It is like kind of a shame that the Mountain deck isn't running Pulverize, but like I get it. Um, like Grape or not Grape Shot, Shattering Spree is also very good. Okay, those are my final thoughts on Ruby Storm. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's my first donation deck. I'm pretty new at this, so if you dislike this video, please tell me why in a constructive manner. I would appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Hey, Brian Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.